Struggling with blood sugar levels, ready to shed those extra pounds effortlessly? Look no further. Sugar Defender, the #1 rated blood sugar formula, is here to transform your health and help you achieve your wellness goals. Click the link in the video description to get started with Sugar Defender today.
Teacher Anna Stubblefield was convicted of aggravated sexual assault after engaging in a relationship with Derek Johnson, who was unable to speak or move without assistance. The story between Stubblefield and Johnson, aka DJ, has since inspired a new Netflix true crime documentary, Tell Them You Love Me. The pair met in 2009 when DJ's brother, John, was one of Stubblefield's philosophy and ethics students at Rutgers University Newark, New Jersey campus, according to the Direct. Stubblefield, then 41, believed a person's intellect, and the degree to which he or she is disabled, could be as much a social construct, as much a venue for tyranny, as race, gender, or sexuality, according to the New York Times. She started to work with DJ, a black man, who was 30 at the time, and couldn't speak, suffered from cerebral palsy, and was unable to move his without help. Stubblefield started to work with DJ and his family using facilitated communication. Facilitated communication is a technique that involves a person with a disability pointing to letters, pictures, or objects on a keyboard or a communication board, typically with physical support from a facilitator, as defined by the American Speech-Language Hearing Association. The sessions were initially supervised, but as they became more frequent, Stubblefield started to go to DJ's home, where he lived with his mother and caregiver, Daisy. After spending time with Stubblefield, DJ was able to learn how to communicate through a keyboard and computer screen. He was also eventually able to take a college class. By 2011, the teacher and student had begun a romantic relationship and planned to tell DJ's family. The Memorial Day announcement was teased in the documentary trailer. "We all sit down and there just seemed to be this awkwardness," John said. She grabs Derek's hand and on the keyboard comes up, "We are in love." Daisy chimed in saying, she said, "Yes, we have made love." She added that Stubblefield said Derek Johnson is a man in every sense of the word. "She is not Sandra Bullock and this is not The Blind Side. She raped my brother. She tried to supplant his life with some version of life she thought was better." Stubblefield told DJ's family she planned to leave her husband and children for him. Daisy and John, who were shocked by the news and confused about how it could be possible, reported Stubblefield to the police. Stubblefield was charged with 2 counts of first-degree aggravated sexual assault in 2013. The court ruled they would not allow any submissions about facilitated communication, as the process was not recognized by science, as reported by Yahoo News. Anna continued to testify that their relationship was consensual, despite his lack of communication. "I wouldn't have fallen in love with him if he wasn't capable of consent," she would say in court, according to the New York Times. "I wouldn't have fallen in love with him if he wasn't someone interested in reading books and talking about them. He was my best friend." Daisy testified that her son didn't have the capacity to engage in physical or emotional intimacy, and therefore didn't and couldn't consent to the relationship, Stylecaster reported. Her case went to trial in 2015. Facilitated communication is a technique that involves a person with a disability pointing to letters, pictures, or objects on a keyboard or a communication board, typically with physical support from a facilitator, as defined by the American Speech-Language Hearing Association. The association goes on to say facilitated communication is a discredited learning technique and should not be used. There is no scientific evidence of the validity of FC, and there is extensive scientific evidence, produced over several decades and across several countries, that messages are authored by the facilitator rather than the person with a disability. It also argues the method could result in harm. Information collected from the communication technique should not be considered as the communication of the person with a disability. During the trial, DJ's brother gave an emotional testimony saying, "She is not Sandra Bullock and this is not The Blind Side," according to NBC affiliate WCAU. "She raped my brother. She tried to supplant his life with some version of life she thought was better." However, in another repr.